Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your DevOps SRE DevSecOps coach. So guys, we are yeah, so we are trying to build a dashboard and alerts um, with Grafana. So our backend would be Prometheus, of course, but a dashboard and alerting solution something which we are looking for it. So what is Grafana? So let me tell you here, the the current form of Grafana uh, is uh, is not a dashboarding solution alone. Okay, if you go to their website, they are a complete observability platform. I want to take you to that website so you can correlate here. Grafana, and this is the website. You see observability platform. See, so that means you have everything. You see, melt. If you remember that, this slide is gone actually. It's here, right? Here. Look at this. So look at this. So it's observability platform. So M E L T. So this is the data you get it, and then you do the uh, infrastructure monitoring, APM, alerting, incident response, synthetic, front end, SLOs, Kubernetes monitor, everything you have it. So basically, in the current format, if you look at this, it's a observability platform. Okay, and I like this website actually. They have recently changed actually. Earlier it was not there. So, but if you look at their product lines, they have everything. You see, for metrics, from trace, from dashboarding, for logs, and many things. But what I'm teaching you today is this one, only this one. Okay, so current form of Grafana is different actually. Okay, so in that context, not everything I'm covering today is not possible, but only dashboard solution. So yeah, dashboard anything and observe everything. So using Grafana, you can query. The beauty of Grafana is like you can write any query, SQL query, PromQL queries, whatever. You can write, visualize alerts, and understand your data no matter where it's stored, and so on. So Grafana is open source solution, yes. Though we have a enterprise version also, which uh, most of you, I think, once we start using it after some time, then we'll install the enterprise version. But for right now, just for understanding purpose, we are using the open source. So Grafana is open source visualizations and analytics software. It allows you to query, visualize alerts on and explore your matrices no matter where they are stored. So mind it, in plain English, it provides you the tool to turn your time series database data into beautiful graphs and visualizations. So though Grafana supports SQL also, NoSQL also, time series also, but right now in the context, because we have Prometheus, right? So that way it's a time series database we are discussing about it. Yeah, so open source, let me see. Yeah, so we discuss about this open source composable observability and data visualization platform. Visualize metrics, logs, traces, and from multiple sources like Prometheus, Locky, Elasticsearch, InfluxDB, Postgres, and many more. So this is something which we have. So what is the history of Grafana? So this was started by Torkel in 2014, and now it's become a very popular, one of the most popular open source project on GitHub. So this is the message from the Torkel, what he wanted to develop, and look at this here. How many people are watching these projects? 1.3K. Number of folks, number of installs, number of GitHub stars, and so on. So now, if you see that number of contributors, 1715 people have worked together in order to make this reality. So users in terms of who's using 40 million, 4 million global users and multiple contributors. So they have a three types of version available. The one which I was talking about, self-managed, which is open source, which I'm trying to show you today. Cloud one also is there. If you don't want to install anything as such, you can go for the cloud, and then enterprise versions as well. Enterprise versions will have a little bit more features and so on. So yes, we have a OSS, cloud, and enterprise. Now, if you want to compare the different you know kind of licenses, here these slides can help us. But more or less, we are not today spending too much of time comparing the difference between open source and the cloud and the enterprises. But to learn the open source, and from there we'll migrate together to enterprises or cloud, depends on our project requirements, how it is folding out. So at a high level, if you see that basic one, which is available in the free version, but most of the advanced option, which is related to observability, I repeat, observability, like APM, infrastructure monitoring, synthetic, and many more, is not available in the free versions of stuff. So you can compare this one later point of the time. Right now it's not required. If you look at this SAML and LDAP, Vault, many things available in the cloud and enterprise actually. Okay, so like this. So yeah, if you want to go light, you don't want to install your own version of Grafana, then you can go for the cloud version. That is also good to go ahead with it. So these are some of the features which is available by the way of the cloud actually. So cloud integration with the Prometheus, MySQL, Postgres, Redis, and Memcache, and many more actually. If these are the small list of it, I will show you that when we uh, show a demo will be there. And then dashboard solutions is there, cloud metrics are there, logs there. Tempo is from the APM. It's a one tool for APM. Cloud alerting is there, synthetic monitoring. You have agent also, machine learnings and on call, and many other stuff we have. Again, whatever we have in the cloud, most of this you have in the enterprise also. And apart from that, 24/7, 365 days supports are there. So depends on our project requirement, you can go and opt for it. This is their product lines: Grafana, Graphite, Tanker, Cortex, Loki, Prometheus. We learned. By the way, Prometheus is not developed by Grafana, but they do claim that's their product. Why? Because the majority of the contribution has come from the Grafana in the Prometheus. That's the reason. And Grafana Tempo, open telemetry, and many more things. So many products we have. One of this will focus Grafana, the first one. Okay, so now because this product, which you can install in any operating system, Linux, Windows, Mac, whatever it is, so that is possible. Now, when you install the Grafana, which database is required? Let me tell you here. Don't get confused with the database support and here supported database. Both are different terminologies. Understand this. Grafana, you explore. Please hear me out. Grafana, you explore certain database. In our case, Prometheus. It can be SQL also. It can be Postgres also. So you can explore the data. That is one thing. But Grafana as a tool also uses certain database for storing their meta information like users, group, permission, this, that, and all. So where is being stored? So this is being stored. It's supported by SQLite, MySQL, Postgres. Out of which, the one which I'm going to install the Grafana, SQLite is the default one. It's embedded one. You want to change to MySQL or Postgres, it's up to you. So that means installing the Grafana, you need any of this database. SQLite is a default one. Are you understanding, right? All of you?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. So now guys, this slide is little outdated if you look at this. 2001, right? So the different version of you will find it. I think 8.x only, I guess, and I'll show that during the download. So you can download for Linux, Windows, Mac, Docker, ARM, every platform it is available. Okay, so we'll install in some time, but before that, let's spend some time in terms of architecture. So if you ask, okay, how Grafana has been developed, so it has been developed primarily backend is like a Golang, and just because of that, you can install on any platform. Then front end, it has been developed using TypeScript, HTML, JavaScript, and stuff like that. So these are the language which has been done. In terms of database, I discussed SQLite default, MySQL, Postgres, and so on. So this is the technology which has been used to develop a Grafana. Okay, these are the features which I discussed about it, and so on. Now Grafana workflows. So look at this image here. If you look at this, uh, there is a Grafana last one, and if you look at the arrow, Grafana is taking the database from the Prometheus, right? And where the Prometheus is taking the data from, you know that we know that yesterday it's pulling from the different exporter and all, correct now? So if you see the arrow, Prometheus is pulling matrices from the different endpoints, and that is how the architecture is been flowed out. So the first and second we set up Grafana, and the Prometheus integration we'll set up today, and then we'll spend some time on the Grafana. Are you clear with this,
Yes.
all of you?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, you know what? If you want to build the clustering and all, multiple discussions can happen. There's no as such uh, the perfect solution. It's all depends on your requirement. The design can come. Like here in this image, it says like if you have three network in your VPC, so you set up a three Grafana and three Prometheus. It's up to you again. I'm not saying like you have to do this, but again, different approaches are there. Here is a centralized one. Look at this, three different network, and they have used some of the centralized one Prometheus and centralized Grafana. Again, different approach. You follow this one, right? So now this is interesting slides. If you look at this is the Grafana dashboard. You have a three graphs. In fact, I think five graph you have: customer session, customer order, cart items, management sessions, stock orders. So multiple you have, right? But important thing is if you look at this, the data backend, from where this is coming, how this graph is created. So you see that the graph you can create from the Prometheus. You can again create from the different data sources like Elasticsearch, SQL Server. That means what I'm trying to say, you create a dashboard, one dashboard, multiple graph you have, and each graph the data source can be different. And that's the beauty about the Grafana. You can not only use the PromQL, the one which I was discussing at a high level, but you can use a query DSL also. The Elasticsearch is a pending topic. I'll cover that one in upcoming days. So query DSL also. And also if you know the T-SQL, you can use for the SQL servers. So you see that so versatile Grafana is. You can use whatever way you want it. So then you will have, okay, Rajesh, apart from this Prometheus, Elasticsearch and SQL, what else support is there? Again, this slide is little outdated because every month there is one new support which they announce actually if you look at this. So these are some of this are like Graphite is a very popular one for the Grafana. InfluxDB also, I'm using Prometheus today. Many other like Jagger, Jimkin and all other stuff also there. Okay, so this is the introduction about Grafana. Any questions so far, all of you?
No, nothing from my side.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do, guys, I am going to set up a Grafana server. Okay, so now let me do that. I'm going to log into one of the boxes. Ubuntu. Done. Okay. So now uh, I'll go to OPT. So this is the server. Now I have forgot to shut down. So most of the services would be running only uh, because I have not done anything actually. Let me check the Prometheus is running or not. It's running. You see, it's running. So good. So now what to do? So guys, I'm going to download the packages. So how do we do that? So download Grafana, enter. So this is the I think latest version 8.2.3 and okay, my bad, not latest one, sorry. It has come in the Google, but let me hit the download link. Actually latest is 11. So if you see that every week they have a releases actually every week. Okay, so now here you have a Linux, Windows, Mac, and dot. Now guys, I'm going to install. You can take a system packages also, but I'm going to use this one. Okay, and mind it, it's enterprise version. And for that you need a license. So I'm going to convert into OSS version. Okay, and here you see this is the OSS version. Okay, so I'm going to do this, download this. And extract this. So this is the most recent one. Done. Now this is the directory which I have everything. Now what I'll do, I need to show you some guides also which you will not stuck. So go for Grafana install DevOps school. This is the tutorial which you need to follow. So these are the things you can do that. These commands you can run, and this is for 11.x. This is for 8.x. Okay. And if you're looking using the packages, you have all the commands. And this information, you please read this. Don't rush. Slowly build the understanding and then move on. And this is the important locations you need to understand. Start, stop command and all kind of things, and so on. Log files, database complete detail you have here, some of the configuration backend, and so on. Username is admin, password is admin, default port is 3000. Okay, so please keep that in mind. So now I'll go inside this and cd bin, and you see there's a utility which is you have this one. I need to start it. I am starting as a background because that way I don't close the console. Done. Okay, so just wait for it few seconds, and then after that you go to the IP address 3000 and hit. So this is your Grafana dashboard. Default username is admin, enter. And here you see admin123. I'm changing the password and done. Guys, this is the free version of Grafana what you have. So far so good. Any questions, any doubts?
Not yet. Maybe tomorrow I'll bring up some questions. I'll try
Sure.
to play along tonight.
Yeah, right. So guys, this UI, say the more time you spend with UI, automatically many things you will learn. This is how it is, right? So though I'll teach you, and but don't rush. You see the documentation, tutorials, community portal, Slack channel, some data source if you want to add and start working on it, and dashboard you want to create, some news, some tutorials. This is the many options you have. So homepage, start means anything which you have five it out, you can see in the start. Right now, nothing. Dashboard, I don't think so. I have to tell you what is this. Explore, you want to explore the data, right? Data Explorer, correct? So that's the option. That's where the PromQL is required. Alerting, I don't think so. I have to tell you. Connection means data source. Prometheus will have a data source connection, so I'll show you. An administration section. See here. So administration sections. Now you see organization and default is a main organizations. Okay, so that is a main organization automatically created. So is that like we can manage the multiple organization? Yes, true. You can manage the multiple organizations. So here you can check more options and organizations and see. So what is organizations? So I'll put it in this way, very simple way. Uh, there's one company which is called Infosys, and they have a client called Mindtree. I mean, they have Microsoft and Google. So they do the Infosys doing the project for both of these companies. Now Microsoft said, hey, you can use same platform, but you should not share the data with other team. Only the people from Microsoft should be able to see. Same said by Google also. So what Infosys will do, they'll create a two organization, one Microsoft, one I mean Google. So let me create Microsoft and see, now you have a automatically got enabled, right? Main Microsoft, and I want to create one more, right? So Google. Now I created a two organization. In fact, third you have it. But what is the use of it? So now each organizations, uh, the asset you can have it different. So Google will have a different user, different groups, different integrations, different data source and all. Microsoft also will have a same thing. So Google and Microsoft now they'll not share the whole infrastructure actually. So that way we can isolate that stuff. Simple. I mean, I don't think so. It's complicated. So like this. So many options you'll find in the administrations. Here authentication options. I think you understand nowadays most of this like LDAP, SSOs, password base. I'm using it right now default. Some web plugins and all. Here you can create a users and specify their access. If you want to install more features, then you have plugins which you can install and then add a more features to that and generals. So mind it here, this authentication method, users and access, plugins and data is dedicated to Microsoft. For other organization, it will be different. Okay, Google, this organization, if you see, this will be different. Okay, so that is the beauty about it. You can still manage multiple organization. You can call it a multi-tenant or something like that. So that way we can protect the Microsoft data and Google data as well. Okay. So now let's get back to the some of the discussion. So guys, yeah, Grafana offers several options for grouping users. Each level has a different tools for managing user accounts, different tasks that they can perform. Server, one server, I have it right now. Okay, multiple organizations. Each organization will have their teams and users. Users can be a part of multiple organization that is there. Depends on the access. So server, this one is server actually. The one here it's a one server. Okay, this is the considered to be one server. Okay, one server. So server is the highest and broadest level of user group in Grafana is the server. Every user with an account in a Grafana instance is a member of this server group. So there is one role which is called server admin or the user account that have the Grafana admin option set to us. So I want to show you that one. So if you go to the users and here you see admin options and you see here Grafana admin. Yes. So he's accessed this. That means this guy is Grafana admin. Okay. So likewise. So server admin can manage users and manage organization. In front of you only I created two org actually to protect the knowledge or data for different organizations. So what is organization? Now you understand that because I've shown you already. So organizations are group of users on server. Users can belong to one or more organization, but each user must belong to at least one organization. Data sources, plugins, dashboard. Dashboard you understand, plugins you understand, extra features you want to add it. Data source is nothing but the integrations. Okay, here this is the here you have a data sources. See, and if you see this is for Google. Okay, Microsoft will have their own database or data sources. So don't get confused. Okay, don't get confused. Okay, this is the one. So that's isolation, right? So data sources, plugins, dashboard are associated to the organizations. This means that you can have a server with the two organization, one with Prometheus data source and another with non-influx data source. Each organization has a separate data and dashboard. Members of organizations have permission based on their roles in the organizations. Okay, that is how it is. Team. Let me show you the first team. So let's go to the one database, Google. Let's go to the Google. And here, if you understand, you have to change the IP address. It's running on the local host, but right now not needed. So here it's a team. See, the team is a part of the organization called Google. And in one organization, you have a multiple team, right? Most of the time we create a dev team, QA team, operations team, right? DevOps team, like this. So you can create a teams here, multiple teams. So right now, DevOps at the rate of DevOps.com. You can add a members. Right now I have only one, and you can add a permission also. You can create one more team here, SRE at the rate of SRE.com. SRE done. Now, so I have added two teams right now, and teams still have a multiple members. So use of team is like it's very easy for you to set the permission, for the entire members. So that way it's easy to manage. Okay, so that is the advantage of using teams. So teams are a group of users within the same organizations. Team allows you to grant permissions for a group of users. They are most often used to manage permissions or folder and dashboard. Enterprise, again, we have some more features like data source permissions and all that's not there in the free version. So teams are mostly managed by organization admin. However, if the Grafana server setting, there is one setting if you apply, it's like overriding the default behavior. Typically, we won't do that right now. Users, I don't think so. I have to tell you what is users, right? So let me go ahead and create a users directly. So here, team I created. Now I'm going to create a users, and here, uh, Robert, Robert email. I'm adding your access, username, password. I'm setting your access 123, Robert 123. Done. Now this user, you want to add it to some organizations. So right now we created as part of the Google, right? So by default it's Google, but if you want to change these organizations or you want to keep it on multiple, you can do that actually. Right now he's not having any admin access. You want to change it, you can do that. All this thing you can do that. Okay. So now you go to team and here DevOps, add member, user. I'm looking for Robert, right? Robert, I can't find it. Robert is a part of. Okay. By default, this is a part of main org. So I was trying to work in Google. So what I have to do? Google. Done. Viewer access I've given. Okay, minded. Now I'll go to the team, DevOps, add user, Robert. What access member or admin member? Save it. Simple. I mean, I don't think so. I have to, specify what to do. The moment you click, you will understand this. That's not a big deal. I hope you are understanding, right?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yeah. So what we discuss: server, org, teams, users. Now, which are the authentications in Grafana? Authentication means what? How do we log in? Okay. Though in community version we have a limited options. Enterprise we have many options actually. Cloud also few. So yeah, these are the supported one. Look at this auth option, pretty huge actually. Almost everything you have it, but these are the for enterprises. Okay, not for community. So community will have a few options. I want to show you. So if you go to authentications here and GitHub is there, GitLab is there, Google is there, generic auth is there, Azure AD is there, Okta is there, and these are the free one actually. Okay, one which I am using is password based, which is a default. You cannot remove that one. So these are the authentications options there. So you can enable it. Many people, I mean, many of what we are doing actually, typically we go for Okta or we'll go for Azure AD or LDAP. Nowadays, LDAP fashion is going away. So maybe most probably Okta, right? So like this. But yeah, many options for authentications. You can enable it and get it up and running. Okay, authorizations. Authorization means once you logged in, what can you do? What can you do? You can do a view, you can delete, you can create. What can you do? So that we call it typically permissions also. So what can you do in Grafana is defined with the permissions associated with the user account. Yeah. So permission granted as an admin or permission associated with your role in an organization. Permissions granted to a specific folder or dashboard also. So these are the permissions you can assign. So Grafana server admin status you can assign. You can also define organizations admin, editor, viewer. You can also define the permission in the folder and dashboard. Okay. And enterprise, we have a few more. So I want to show you these options. So if you go for users here, and there's a 2 users, right? Click on that one user, and here you see permissions, Grafana admin, change, yes, no, what exactly. But here you can decide this particular user. Let me show you the another user, Robert. This user a part of which organization, what access you can give to this user. So if you think you want to change this, you can change the role viewer, editor, admin. Here you want to change this viewer, editor, admin. So it depends on that. But not only here, you can change this at the dashboard and folder level also. Where? Here it is. I have not created a dashboard and folder. Let me create one. This is a Google dashboard and dashboard folder actually. And then you can set at this place also. Okay, Google level. So I am trying to go to users, Robert, and folder level permissions. Okay, so I see here I'm not able to find it. Maybe that options is it's here. Yeah, manage permissions. See here. So folder level permissions also you can assign admin, editor, viewer, and so on. Okay, so that is something which you can do that. So permissions can be done multiple level. Okay, so any questions so far, all of you?
Could you please, uh, what is the purpose of the folder? Can you please mention once again?
This folder in real time, what will happen? You may have a hundreds of dashboard. This one, hundreds of dashboard. So either you have it at here everywhere and then you get lost, and or either you manage through folder. Folder means folder. You manage the files. Here you are managing dashboard. Why? Better organizations, right? We humans are good in organizing the things, right? Not only for organization, but permissions also you can do that. Got it?
So folder means we can categorize based on the like environment you have mentioned before, dev environment, production environment, UAT environment, like that,
Yeah,
uh,
it could
or
be
what
one of
can be
this
done? Okay,
folder. It can be
but
based on your environment, based on your teams, based on the departments. Depends on your wave
okay,
to
okay, okay, okay.
manage
Got it,
that.
got it, got it, got it. Thank you.
So this is the dashboard for folders. Okay, so more questions. Okay, so now next topic which we have is important one, and that's called data sources. Before that, going into that, I want you to spend some time and get comfortable, because the more you get comfortable, it'll be good for us. What do you want? You need to go to this website, username admin123, create organizations, create teams, create users, play around with it, authentications, few, just get comfortable with it. If you create a few folders, play around with the authentication and authorizations and all stuff like that. I'm putting the user ID in the chat, and you spend, let's say, 15 minutes, all of you, and confirm me for the chat, team chat.
Have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact. Unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.